Coming up next, more detractor content and after that Dragon Ball Z, only on Toonami.
My God. Princess Consuela says, it's not racist, it's part of African American culture. Same as saying the Irish like potatoes or the French like cream. Alright, so what if you bought a game that was like Leprechaun Land, right? And it was just a cutesy platformer where you play as a leprechaun trying to get his pot of gold, and you opened it up and there was a coupon for like potatoes inside. Like, oh, save on potatoes, save on fucking Ore-Ida French fries and hash browns and potatoes. You'd be like, what the fuck is this? What is this bullshit? Right? You'd be very upset. I would be. I'm not even Irish, and I'd be upset. Right, or liquor, because everyone says that the Irish drink too much. What if there was like a liquor coupon in there, right? Like save on fucking, you know, like what is this bullshit? You fucking racists? Come on. Now you know. Okay, how about I got one? Ready? Assassin's Creed 2, set in Italy, all Italian characters, and in the box is a coupon for Olive Garden. I would be at their fucking corporate headquarters wringing their necks. I would be like, fuck you, motherfucker, bopping them around. Oh my God. Oh my God. All right. We're being silly today, obviously. Okay, so anyway, that's what I got for today, guys. I think what we'll do is a little bit of a looser second half where all we'll do now is just kind of hang out for a little bit. I don't particularly feel like doing suggestion box today. I just want to kind of like a chill ending to the week so we can just talk and hang out. By the way, so far I have 0 contributions to shout out. Nothing. No super chats, no memberships, no tips. So if anything comes in, I will shout it out. And thank you to anyone who supports the stream today. But in the meantime, yeah, let's just hang out and talk for a little bit. Just tag me in the chat. Let's see what you guys want to discuss today. Okay. Can I say curse words in Italian? Affangu. There you go. That's about it. That's about all I know. All the food they make there is complete trash. There is nothing authentic and it tastes awful. But people go there because they don't know better. They don't have access to real Italian food. So they actually falsely think that that is really good. Even though it's not. They're eating slop. And they don't know it. And so as a true Italian, growing up on the East Coast of the USA where there were authentic Italian restaurants everywhere, you go to Olive Garden and you're like, oh my God, this is like atrocious torture, you know, like cultural ruin. How could they do that to that cuisine, you know?
Ma porco Dio, questo stronzo sape solo una parola, ma non sape un modo a dire la parola giusta. Phil, non è affangu, è vaffangulo. Senti, la parola è vaffangulo a te, vaffangula tua mamma, vaffangula paride e vaffangula tuo nonno, vaffangula tutti quanti della famiglia tua. Senti, capisci? You know, it's always the Italian rants that get me triggered the most. And I know people will say things like, oh, well, you shouldn't let Phil trigger you. You know, that's kind of what's up with that. But, like, when you're the person whose heritage Phil tries to pretend to be, it definitely gets on your nerves, especially when it happens more than once. So I've addressed this before regarding Phil's pretend Italianness, and I don't really want to repeat myself too much, but his Olive Garden rant, you know, is a fun way for me to, again, kind of highlight how much of a clown he is and how he knows basically nothing about actually being Italian. He's very much still the movie media idea of what it takes, of what it is being Italian. So his whole thing with like knowing only one curse word in Italian, and he doesn't even know how to pronounce it correctly. Obviously, I showcased that in the beginning, how to actually pronounce the word correctly. But it's even more laughable when Phil loves to boast about his Italian heritage when you only know one phrase or one word, essentially. Most people that live here on the East Coast know a number of phrases, you would say. I would say the most common things are agita is one that a lot of people say that don't even speak Italian, that are like half Italian. They go, oh, I can't eat that. It gives me agita. I would assume Phil also would know that, but I don't think I've ever heard him say that. But the fact that you only know one curse word and you can't even pronounce it correctly just shows that your family is so far disconnected from actually being Italian, regardless of your dumbass grandfather and his stupid ass thumb that you like to talk about. The whole like Olive Garden thing is kind of like whatever. It's not a big deal. Go to Olive Garden if you want. I find it incredibly hypocritical when all he does is talk about how his like family sauce has like a cup to like 5 cups of sugar or whatever it is. It doesn't make any sense to me. He buys San Marzano tomatoes, which are incredibly expensive, and then just ruins them by adding sugar. But that's what my Italian style family does. I just want to make it completely clear. I fucking hate it every time Phil talks about being Italian. The whole, I would go there and I would, like, you don't even understand the language beyond a cartoonish level to even mimic what actual Italian would sound like. It's like watching Family Guy. They just go, a beep-a-da-ba, a boop-a-da-ba, because that's all you know. You don't know the language. You never took time to study the language. You didn't bother to learn the language in any capacity so you can actually add some validity to your claims of being Italian. And the thing that will always drive it home for me is that he's an East Coast Italian, but does not celebrate Christmas Eve with the 7-fish dinner. That's a staple across all Italian families here in the East Coast. But instead of doing that, they go out and get Chinese food for Christmas Eve because of a movie. I wouldn't really lean in as hard as he does on his Italian side if you're not really following any of, like, at least the Italian-American traditions. Like, and I'm not defending Olive Garden. Like, I don't go to Olive Garden, but I don't really go to Italian restaurants. Like, if I'm going to eat Italian food, I'm either going to cook it myself, or I'm going to go to my parents' house, I'm going to have dinner there, or to a family member's house and have Italian dinner there. Like, we don't really do Italian restaurants in my family. But, like, the thing that, like, pisses me off so much about it with him specifically is that all he does is he just talks about all the staples of what would be considered, like, stereotypical Italian-American cuisine. Like, never once does he talk about, pasta with lentils or pasta with patate, pasta fagioli. Like, he doesn't talk about any of these things. Like, he talks about eggplant rollatini like it's some sort of fucking Michelin star level shit. Like, eggplant rollatini is good, but it's like some common ass food. It's not hard to find. There's a lot of great Italian-American cuisine and Italian cuisine, especially here on the East Coast. But, like, Phil should be the last person anybody goes to for, like, authentic opinions about it. Even me, like, as much as I am, like, a child of immigrants, I don't speak true Italian. I speak a specific dialect of Italian. And, like, my upbringing is still kind of Americanized. Like, I wasn't raised in Italy. I have memories of Italy when I was over there visiting family and I stayed there for a while. But everybody's experience is different, and Phil just goes to the stereotype every time. And it's so frustrating. And, like, as an aside, and this is just kind of to comment on this, I know I'm not saying that the community needs to change or anything like that, but, like, one of the biggest memes in Phil's community is the Gugats thing from Howard. I assume Howard is also some sort of Italian if he's saying Gugats. Phil and probably Howard come from a probably very diluted Italian bloodline, so they don't know Italian properly. That's why he says fungu, or whatever the hell Phil said, and that's why Howard said Gugats. These are slangs of slang. Vaffangulo is the proper way to say what Phil was trying to say in Italian, and then you can abbreviate that or use a certain slang and be like e fangul or vaffangul. Instead of vaffangulo, you could say vaffangul, which is like a slang, and then the further away from the origin you get, the more diluted it gets. With Gugats, that's like derived of Ugats, which is a slang on Stugats. Stugotz is the correct terminology. But because, again, it's so far removed from the origin, it just gets bastardized by people who think they're Italian and then just kind of mumble out words with an Italian accent. At the end of the day, every time Phil mentions being Italian, I'm going to fucking rage inside and wish that I could punch him in the face. Everything about him is so disingenuous and so unauthentic. It makes me want to just rock his head off his shoulders. I fucking hate you, Phil, especially every time you talk about being Italian. You're a piece of shit.